Deep in the forests, wild boars root through soil, crunch on acorns, and live as they have for centuries. Yet today, these same tusked animals are entering giant factories, where thousands are processed every month. How did a symbol of the wild turn into one of the most controlled and valuable meats on Earth? Welcome to AgriWorks USA, where we uncover the real stories of agriculture, where nature, technology, and tradition collide. In this video, we'll follow the journey of wild boars from semi-natural ranches across Texas and Europe to processing plants that transform their nutrient-rich meat into premium products. We'll explore how their seasonal diets of chestnuts and berries give their meat unique flavors, and how strict inspections ensure every cut is safe and sustainable. If you're fascinated by how the wild becomes food on your table, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for more untold stories from AgriWorks USA. Wild boars are no longer just a wild nuisance. They represent a fast-growing niche in the global meat economy. In Europe alone, countries like Spain, Italy, and Eastern Europe process hundreds of thousands of wild boars annually, while the United States, especially Texas, Florida, and California, has turned its exploding feral populations into a sustainable food resource. Processing plants are capable of handling 1,000 animals per month, creating both employment and export revenue. Economically, wild boar meat commands premium value, leaner, richer in protein, and often priced higher than conventional pork. In 2020, average wholesale prices reached $8.9 per kilogram, surpassing beef and lamb in some markets. Demand is strongest in gourmet sectors of the US, East Asia, and the Middle East, where wild boar is marketed as both exotic and sustainable. By transforming an ecological challenge into a global commodity, the wild boar industry is proving its unique role in the balance between economy, environment, and food security. Unlike industrial pig farming, wild boars are typically raised in semi-natural ranches that blend open landscapes with controlled management. In regions like Texas, France, and Eastern Europe, farms often span hundreds of acres, with stocking rates of about 20 animals per 5 acres to replicate natural habitats. This model allows wild boars to roam freely, forage, and retain their instinctive behaviors while still being monitored for health and growth. The semi-wild system provides several advantages. Growth is slower. Wild boars take 16-18 months to reach market weight compared to just 6 months for commercial pigs. But the result is leaner, more flavorful meat. Antibiotic use is minimal, often limited to less than 5% of herds annually, aligning with consumer demand for natural and chemical-free protein. Farms also invest in waste recycling and water management systems, reducing their ecological footprint. By combining natural resilience with modern oversight, this model achieves a rare balance, preserving animal welfare, ensuring ecological sustainability, and delivering high-value meat for global markets. It is this harmony that makes semi-wild boar farming both economically attractive and environmentally responsible. Do you believe semi-wild farming helps reduce animal stress? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to follow AgriWorks USA. In semi-natural systems, wild boars reproduce much as they would in the wild, which is key to maintaining their robust health and genetic diversity. A sow typically has a gestation period of about 115 days and gives birth to 40 to 10 piglets per litter, depending on her health and the quality of her habitat. Farms provide sheltered, vegetation-rich enclosures that mimic forest conditions, giving mothers privacy and reducing stress during farrowing. For the first few weeks, piglets nurse exclusively on their mother's nutrient-rich milk, which fuels rapid growth and strengthens immunity. As they mature, their diet is gradually supplemented with soft feeds, fruits, and vegetables, eventually transitioning to roots, grains, and forage similar to wild conditions. This slower development, taking 16-18 months to reach maturity, produces stronger animals with better muscle quality compared to industrial pigs. Crucially, maintaining natural reproduction cycles not only enhances meat quality, but also supports welfare and sustainability. By respecting the species' biology while applying careful monitoring, semi-wild farming preserves the essence of the wild boar while delivering a consistent, high-value food source. Wild boars thrive on a diet that mirrors their natural feeding behavior, and this is what makes their meat so distinctive. On average, an adult consumes 4 tons or 6 pounds of food per day, ranging from roots and grasses to fruits, chestnuts, and acorns. Seasonal shifts strongly influence taste. In autumn, acorn and nut-rich diets give the meat a unique, nutty, earthy flavor, while in summer, berries and melons add a subtle sweetness. Farmers in semi-wild systems often supplement this forage with grains like oats and barley, ensuring balanced nutrition without resorting to processed feeds or heavy antibiotics. This natural approach not only supports healthier growth, but also enhances the lean, protein-rich profile of the meat. Compared to conventional pork, wild boar meat contains less fat, more iron, and higher protein, making it especially appealing to health-conscious consumers. Its distinct flavor and texture allow it to command premium prices in gourmet markets, where provenance and taste are valued as much as nutrition. Are you curious about how nutrition changes the flavor of meat? Share your opinion with me. I'd love to hear your perspective. Semi-wild boar farming offers more than just meat production. It plays a role in conservation and land management. Goats and cattle often dominate discussions about grazing, but wild boars bring their own ecological impact. By browsing on shrubs, weeds, and fallen crops, they help control undergrowth and recycle nutrients into the soil. However, without management, herds can overgraze and damage biodiversity, turning a benefit into a risk. From an environmental perspective, wild boars are resource efficient compared to industrial pigs. They require less concentrated feed, thrive on marginal land, and need fewer antibiotics. Farms are also investing in waste recycling systems, turning manure into fertilizer and reducing water pollution. As climate change intensifies, their adaptability to drought and varied diets makes them a resilient livestock option. Managed responsibly, wild boar farming could become a model of climate-smart, sustainable agriculture, balancing protein production with ecological stewardship. The journey from farm to factory begins with careful transportation protocols designed to protect both animal welfare and meat quality. Vehicles are thoroughly disinfected before each trip, and travel times are kept under 50 miles whenever possible to minimize stress. Drivers follow strict animal welfare standards, providing ventilation, water, and rest for longer journeys. Upon arrival at the processing plant, every wild boar undergoes a veterinary inspection to check for signs of disease or contamination. Only healthy animals continue to the next stage. Stunning is typically performed using CO2 systems, ensuring a humane and painless loss of consciousness. The animals are then bled, skinned, and eviscerated under hygienic conditions. Carcasses are washed and immediately transferred to chilling rooms below 40 degrees Celsius to prevent bacterial growth. Depending on the market, the meat may remain whole or be broken down into premium cuts, such as tenderloin and ribs, while other parts are prepared for sausages or cured products. This strict regulated process ensures wild boar meat meets international safety and quality standards, ready for global distribution. In your view, what's the most important factor in slaughtering? Safety, hygiene, or animal welfare? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow AgroWorks USA for more insights into sustainable farming. After slaughter, wild boar meat enters a tightly controlled processing chain to maintain both flavor and safety. Carcasses are first chilled, then skilled butchers separate premium cuts, such as tenderloin, ribs, and shoulder, from secondary parts used for sausages, roasts, or charcuterie. Each step is designed to highlight the lean, protein-rich quality of the meat while minimizing waste. The next stage is packaging. High-value cuts are often vacuum-sealed to lock in freshness and extend shelf life, while bulk meat is blast-frozen for export. In Europe, some meat is dry-cured or smoked to create artisanal products like wild boar salami, which can fetch premium prices in gourmet markets. Factories adhere to USDA and EU hygiene standards, with strict temperature monitoring below 40 degrees Celsius during processing and storage. Labels typically include origin, weight, and certification details, giving consumers confidence in both provenance and quality. From rustic sausages to fine dining cuts, the packaging stage ensures wild boar meat is ready for kitchens worldwide. Wild boar meat has carved out a distinct niche in the global protein market, combining novelty with health appeal. In the United States, states like Texas, Florida, and California are turning overpopulated wild boars, often considered pests, into a sustainable meat source, supplying specialty restaurants and farmers markets. In Europe, countries such as Spain, Italy, and Germany have long culinary traditions of wild boar dishes, from rustic stews to prosciutto-style hams, creating steady domestic demand. Globally, wild boar meat is valued for being leaner and higher in protein than industrial pork, often marketed as a natural or organic alternative free from hormones and heavy antibiotic use. Prices are competitive, sometimes surpassing conventional pork due to its premium image. Exports are rising, with Asia and the Middle East emerging as growth markets, particularly for frozen cuts and processed products. However, the industry faces hurdles. Supply consistency, disease prevention, and cultural acceptance remain key challenges. Still, as consumers increasingly seek sustainable and ethically raised protein, wild boar meat is positioned as a rising star in alternative livestock markets. Wild boar farming represents a unique intersection of tradition and innovation. With their resilience to harsh climates, ability to thrive on natural forage, and lean, flavorful meat, wild boars are increasingly seen as a climate-smart protein source. The future of the industry will depend on balancing market growth with ecological responsibility, expanding exports while preventing overgrazing and disease outbreaks. For consumers, every purchase of wild boar products supports a shift toward more sustainable and ethical farming systems. As global demand for protein rises, wild boars may transition from a niche product to a mainstream alternative. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join AgroWorks USA in exploring more untold stories of modern agriculture.